Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Listen, the Blue Jays front office is staring down a decision that could define this franchise for the next decade. Bichette wants $300 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $300 million. Jon Heyman just dropped this bomb in the New York Post, and suddenly everything about Toronto's offseason silence makes perfect sense. This isn't just about money. This is about whether the Blue Jays are willing to bet their entire financial future on a player whose numbers simply don't match the price tag he's demanding. Here's the reality check nobody wants to hear. Bichette is 27 years old, which in baseball years makes him a unicorn in free agency. He's young, he's talented, and he's been the face of this organization alongside Vlad Guerrero Jr. for years, but wanting $300 million puts him in the same conversation as Corey Seager, Trea Turner, and Francisco Lindor. And that's where this whole thing falls apart. Those guys, they're different caliber players. Seager just won a World Series MVP. Turner has been one of the most consistent performers in baseball for nearly a decade. Lindor is a Gold Glove defender who carries the Mets on his back. Bichette's offensive production, as good as it's been in stretches, doesn't quite reach that elite tier. His defense has been questionable at times. His consistency has wavered. And now he wants to get paid like he's a top 3 shortstop in baseball. The market has absolutely exploded. Juan Soto reset everything with his massive deal. Vlad Guerrero Jr. just secured $500 million from the Blue Jays, and that contract sent shockwaves through the entire league. Heyman even pointed out that if Seager were 27 in today's market, he might command $500 million himself. The logic tracks. But here's the problem for Bichette. Just because the market moved doesn't mean every player deserves to ride that wave. Toronto already committed $500 million to Guerrero. That was the right move. Vlad is generational. He's the kind of player you build around, the kind of talent that comes along once in a lifetime. Paying him was non-negotiable. But now the Blue Jays are reportedly interested in Kyle Tucker, who could easily land a $400 million contract. Do the math. $500 for Vlad, $400 for Tucker, $300 for Bichette. That's $1.2 billion tied up in 3 players. No team can sustain that. Not even the Dodgers or Yankees operate with that kind of concentration of money in such a small group. The Blue Jays would be hamstrung for years, unable to fill out the rest of the roster with quality depth, unable to make moves when injuries inevitably happen, unable to adapt when the game changes. And let's be brutally honest about Bichette's value. He's a very good player. On his best days, he's a great player. But $300 million isn't for very good. It's for exceptional. It's for guys who change games with their presence alone. It's for players who give you elite production year after year without question marks. Bichette has shown flashes of that, but he's also shown enough inconsistency that betting $300 million on him continuing to develop feels like a massive gamble. The Blue Jays are in an impossible position. They've already invested in Guerrero. They're chasing Tucker, who would immediately transform this lineup into one of the most dangerous in baseball. If they land Tucker and somehow also pay Bichette $300 million, they've essentially locked themselves into this exact roster construction for the foreseeable future. No flexibility, no room for error, no ability to pivot if something goes wrong. And things always go wrong in baseball. Players get hurt, performance declines, prospects don't develop. Teams need the ability to adjust on the fly, to make trades, to sign unexpected free agents who become available. You can't do any of that when you've got over $1 billion committed to 3 guys. So what's the play here? Honestly, if Bichette is dug in at $300 million, the Blue Jays probably have to let him walk. It sounds harsh. It sounds like betrayal to fans who've watched him grow into a star in Toronto. But this is business. This is about building a sustainable winner, not just appeasing fan favorites. The market has gotten insane. Guerrero's deal proved that. But just because one contract resets expectations doesn't mean every player gets to cash in at that level. Bichette is a good player asking for great player money, and unless he's willing to come down significantly, unless there's room for negotiation, Toronto's front office might have to make the painful decision to move on. They've got Guerrero locked up. If they can land Tucker, this lineup still has championship potential. They can find another shortstop, whether through trade, free agency, or promoting from within. It won't be easy replacing Bichette's production and his connection to this team. But $300 million for a player who isn't quite at that elite level, that's how franchises cripple themselves for a decade, and the Blue Jays can't afford to make that mistake.